some humbling and some understanding, and now he's been so good in practice. I mean, just so good. His focus has been really good. He's been really conscientious on the offensive end as well, but no one believes in Coleman more than I do, and no one. And I mean, his ability to be an elite two-way player is there, and it's focus, and it's staying dialed in, not relaxing, and that comes with maturity and experience, and he's growing there.
Scott.
Well, Coleman mentioned that kind of treated tonight as an opportunity to make a statement, perhaps. Just what do you think this team maybe said about what they can do with seemed like maybe the most complete game?
Well, we're getting better. I mean, there's no doubt we're getting better, and we're slowly identifying roles and what those are looking like. We're moving the ball much better. I mean, 19 assists, 10 turnovers on the offensive side. We have an idea where we're going with the ball, and yet, defensively, one of the things I was really upset with in the Notre Dame game was I felt like that should have been a 25-point game, and we had it to 16, and we'd had some leads earlier in the year in games, and we just didn't step on people. And that starts at the defensive end, and so we've talked about that, and I think that's maybe the statement those guys were talking about. We're trying to have that killer instinct and not have it be because we make threes, we make shots. Make it because we're stopping people, and we're doing that.
Coach, Coleman talked about how you're pretty good at kind of pushing buttons and challenging them and doing different things.
Good to know.
How much did you do that in the past week in trying to get him to defend Ron Harper Jr., a guy that you said has hurt you guys in the past?
Well, I told him that Ron Harper goes to bed every night and he envisions Coleman Hawkins in a pink tutu. And I mean that. I said that because last year he had his way with him. He just literally, it was easy. He just had him on skates. He just put him in, and he ran whatever he wanted. He went to their place. He had, 28 or 30, whatever it was, and he had no chance. And so, if I pushed his button with a pink tutu, I couldn't find one XXX. I was going to show up in it one day, but.
Tyler.
Yeah, Coach, looks like they shot, they got a few three-pointers, but 14 and 51 was at 27% on twos. And we mentioned how good Coleman was on Ron Harper. What else did you guys do to limit their effectiveness from two-point range?
Well, we kept him out of the paint with post-ups. I think that's one of the things that they've had a tremendous amount of success with in their games is being able to post Jalen Jones, being able to post McConnell, being able to get guys that maybe have a matchup because of size, and be very effective there. I thought we did a really good job of taking some of that away. Kofi was a big part of that defensively with his presence and clogging the paint. And again, a team that hasn't shot the ball extremely well from three. We wasn't at the top of our list. Now that'll all change when they get Gio back. But again, I thought we did a good job of keeping them out of those post-ups and out of the paint, and then not giving them second chance points for the most part.
Coach, we heard about Alfonso Plummer and his shooting and his three-point shooting, but perhaps the most impressive thing about him has been not just as a shooter, but his floor game, his ability to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, finish. Is that a little bit of a surprise to you from when you recruited him back in the spring?
Yeah. He was a point guard at one point in his career. Everybody's kind of falls into that cliche that, well, you're small, so you got to play the point. And so he has that. And again, it's kind of the weighing the scales. Do you want the ball in his hand all the time, or do you want him coming off screens, which he's elite at? So he's grown with that. You saw us tonight run a couple actions actually with him on the ball. He's very good at getting downhill. We do a drill every day where we have our bigs and have all of our guys jump straight up in the air and not foul. And Plummer goes at him, and he finishes at an alarmingly high rate. And so we're really comfortable with him around the rim. He gets the ball off. But yeah, to answer your question, I think that's something we got to experiment a little more with.
I know you've talked a lot about turning the page from what was last year, but the guys kind of talked about wanting to maybe issue a reminder of this is who we are. I mean, has that been a topic you've brought up, or is that something that kind of come to on their own? Is there anything there?
No, I think it's them. I think it's more them. I'm trying to really dial in on this team and not get so wrapped up in, last year. Even though they know, we had a couple slip ups last year. We felt like, and they're conscientious of that. They know we haven't won in Iowa City. They're conscientious of that. They, that's the first thing DeMonte and Trent talked about after the game. We haven't won there. But it's every season's got its own identity, but if those guys talk about it and share that with the new guys, I'm cool with that.
Coach, that was probably the most we've seen Kofi pass out of the post in a single game, kicking it back out. Obviously, that was part of the game plan. But how big of a step is that for him to add that, and what's it do for your offense?
Yeah, it's unbelievable maturity. That's one of the things that happens when you're a junior. You just grow into the understanding of the game, and the game slows down. And he is literally giddy about passing the ball out of there. And seeing guys make baskets. He was killing Jake, at the end when they threw it back and forth and Jake missed one. And he's talking about, well, you blew my assist, and that's the fun stuff that comes from passing. And if you want to go do that with Kofi, okay. He's proven now that, and I think the one thing we feel comfortable about is we've got some really, really good shooters, and we're going to take our opportunities from there.
How much more tonight did you have in the hockey assist? The pass back out led to multiple passes, ball movement like that.
So we have a saying, 0.5. We want the ball to be in your hand 0.5 seconds. We don't want it to stick. And we practice that a lot. And it's on the board before every game. And that means you have to see the play before it actually happens. So it doesn't, if it's the pass to Kofi or if it's the next open guy. That's when basketball gets really good and really fun, and our guys are starting to buy into that and that unselfishness and not care who scores it, but know it's all for the good of Illinois basketball.
Trent didn't score in the first half, but I think he had like 3 straight assists to Jake. What does his off-ball work just mean to the team? And when he's not scoring, what does that give you guys?
Yeah, if you ever ask me to put a importance on Trent Frazier, whether he makes baskets or not, I don't care. And Trent, Trent's hardly practicing. He's very, very limited in practice. So Trent hasn't been in the gym getting shots. And I told him before the game. I told him at halftime. Excuse me. I said, just follow through. You're kind of getting a little jerky with, just follow through. That'll go in. But here's a guy fighting through some shoulder, some knee. He moved better, I thought, today than I've seen him. And yet all he does is figure out a way to guard the other guy's best player and help us win, whether it's passing. He was coaching the timeouts at the end of the game. He was coaching them. We don't need layups. We don't need this. We need time, and just literally coaching them. And to me, that's music to my ears.
Coach, I thought Jacob Granderson had a really good start to the first half. Could you talk about that importance and how he got you guys out to that hard start?
Yeah, it's back-to-back games. Jake's just been he's an elite shooter. An elite shooter. He's got a super quick release. He's a great connector in our offense. And again, he just gives you a burst coming off the bench. We know what we're getting. Now we're starting to define those roles, and Jake's been instrumental in that, and I think Luke is stepping into some of those things as well, and so I'm starting to feel really comfortable with where those guys are at.
Coach, could you talk a little bit more about the kind of the blue collar gritty stuff that you saw? Like you mentioned, no more Payne coming off the bench, Coleman's defense. Are you there yet as far as the toughness and the grit that you want to see?
Oh, no. No, I saw a couple guys get inside and rebound, and we missed some crackdowns, but we're making progress. And I'll be very honest, Doug. I mean, are we ever going to be tough enough? Not in my world, but we're getting there. We've got to find the gritty plays. We've got to find the. I was really proud of that. It was a no call. Kofi tried taking another charge and stood in there, and those are the little things that impact winning at a really high level, and we're getting there. We're starting to understand them.
Rob? We know you don't read our stuff or follow social media, but if you were to find out that a hashtag I support Bello had universally taken over Illini social media, how would that make you feel?
Yeah, it's what the best fan base in the country should do. There's a young guy that's going through some things, and that's pretty cool, man. That's what this thing is about. They're not pros, they're collegiate student athletes, and know that people care about you, not for the player, not for just because you win a basketball game, but because you're a human being and you're part of us and you're part of our family. That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
It sounded as if maybe you had put the Ron Harper bug in Coleman's ear before maybe you started scouting, particularly for this game. Do you remember when you first kind of challenged him with that particular matchup?
Day after last game of I don't know. I really don't know. He's a really good player. I think he's one of the hard guards in our league, and again, I think those are the things that I envision with Coleman, is being able to challenge guys at that position. And I don't care if they're 6'8" and lanky or 6'6" and 240 like he is. He's smart, he's IQ, he's length, he's got all the tools to be elite, and I was happy to see that.
You've got, how healthy are you? You got RJ with the ankle. You got the guys coming off the flu. How healthy are you tonight? Some of these guys, had been playing more minutes, playing fewer minutes tonight. What's your status?
Yeah, yesterday was the first day we've seen Hutch in 5 days. RJ's still got a little gimp in and a little swelling in his ankle. He's gotten through it on the court, but we're not, I don't know, 75, 80%. DeMonte's still, you can't take DeMonte off the court. DeMonte will not come off the court, and he will not miss practice, and he has not felt good. But he's still not good either. He's getting closer.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
I think next media opportunity is Sunday. There you go.